من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. My name is AbdFattah. I am the Director for Arts Counseling and Culture, ICICE, International Center for Islamic Culture and Education. This Ta'aleem session is called Family Life and Experiences. Family Life and Experiences. It's specially designed so that we look at issues of family life and the different experiences that people have. Usually we always say that there's no person that is not affected by family life. Everybody came from a family. At least everybody was given birth to by a mother. Nobody here was downloaded by a computer. We all came from a family. And because of that, we also have families. Parents, then the ones that we marry in form of our wives or husbands, other people that Allah has imposed upon us in terms of our relatives. We didn't choose them, Allah just placed them on us like that. There's none of us here who chose their father. Nobody said, oh Allah, this is the type of father I want this one, I want this one. Some people might, if you give them an opportunity to re-choose now, some people will not choose their father. They will choose somebody else or somebody else's father that they may consider more successful, or somebody they will have preferred to be their father. But you see, Allah imposed them on us. We didn't choose our fathers, we didn't choose our mothers, we didn't even choose our names. They chose the names for us. Was anybody invited to his naming ceremony? Was anybody invited? You are not invited, you just get crashed. You didn't even go there by yourself. If you were there, somebody carried you there. And they didn't consult you before they gave you a name. So many things were imposed on us. And when it comes to marriage, was marriage imposed on us or we chose by ourselves? Some people will say it is destiny that Allah just imposed or Allah destined the marriage like that. Sometimes when people make very good choices, they say, Alhamdulillah, I chose a good wife, or Alhamdulillah, I chose a good husband. But when they make terrible choices, they will say it's Allah that destined it like that. This destiny thing, we'll discuss it one of these days. Many people put a lot of lie on top of destiny. When they choose something that backfired, they will say it is destiny. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So because everybody belongs to a family, either you chose it or it was imposed on you. We all have a family. If you are married, you have a family. If you are not married, you came from a family. As a man or as a woman, everybody is connected to one family or the other. So we now say, okay, if we are talking about family, we should not forget to talk about experiences too. There are things we read from the glorious Quran. There are some hadith that we go through. And the scholars also tell us a number of things. However, no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what any scholar tells you, no matter the fatwa a scholar will give, one person's experience is different from another person's experience. No two experiences are exactly the same. You can't say, if I were you, I would do like this, I would do like that. No, if we were to exchange wives now, many of us will not survive 24 hours. You will say, okay, let's exchange wife. Let somebody else take your wife, you take another person's wife. It is then you either appreciate the one you have, or you know that you have been missing a lot. It can be in any way like that. So it so happened one time, people said they have problems with their spouses. This one will say, I have problem with my wife, I have problem with my husband. So they said they now made a test. They wrote, everybody write your problem in a piece of paper. they wrote the problems. They now said, now put all these problems inside the basket. So the sheikh now stirred it, mix it together, and asked everybody to pick another problem at random. Don't pick the one that you dropped there, pick another one. So when people picked it and they looked at it, everybody started looking for their problem back. It'd be like, Assalamu alaikum, please, who is the owner of this problem? Please give me my problem back. I don't want this problem. They say any problem you pick, go home, that will be your problem. So nobody left. I said, look, I won't leave here today until you give me my problem back. So you see, some experiences in marriages you can't exchange with somebody else, because when you see what somebody else is coping with, you will be afraid. You will not even be able to sit down beside the person. You look at him and say, subhanallah, you are going through this and you still come to the masjid to pray. May Allah have mercy on us. So experiences are different. The essence of discussing like this is now to compare notes, look at experiences you have, and then understand how other people also experience things. So part of the experiences we want to talk about within this little time that we have is what we refer to as cruelty, and we want to call it mental cruelty. There was a time we talked about domestic violence, but here we want to narrow it down to the aspect of mental cruelty. That is, what kind of yes, by cruelty we mean wickedness, some acts and behavior that are tantamount to being wicked. Men do it to women, women do it to men, husbands do it to their wives, wives do it to their husbands. But before then, let's quickly look at this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where the Prophet ﷺ was asked, Muawiyah bin Haida al-Khushayri, he said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, what is the right that the wife of one of us has on him? What is the right? What are the rights? That means, what are our duties? Then what are our wives' rights? You see, this thing, human right and things, it has been for long with the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet answered him that, Antu ti'imaha idha ta'imta, feed her whenever you feed yourself. Wataksuha idha tasaita, and clothe her as you clothe yourself. Wala tadribil waj'a, never slap her in the face. Never slap her in the face. Wala tuqabbih, don't hate her. Wala tahjur illa fil bayt, and don't abandon her except within the house. Now, which of these statements of the Prophet is tantamount to mental cruelty? That's tuqabbih, hating a woman, or tahjur fil bayt, wala tahjur fil bayt, keeping away from her, that is keeping malice with her or abandoning her. Some of these are tantamount to mental cruelty that a man would do to a woman. If a man hit her or hate her or abandon the woman. So the favorite of all of these that men do sometimes and women also do is malice, keeping malice against one another. This is an example of mental cruelty. We'll discuss it further as we move ahead. There was a time Prophet ﷺ gave a speech while he was riding Al-Qaswa, that is his favorite camel. And after thanking Allah, he said, Ya ayyuhan nas, O you mankind, inna Allah ta'ala qad azhaba ankum ubiyyatil jahiliyyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already removed the traces of jahiliyyah from you people. Wata'azzumaha bi abahiha, and the fact that you people always boast with your fathers. Fannas rajulan. Prophet said, men are of two types, or human beings generally are of two types. Rajulun barrun taqiyun karimun ala Allah ta'ala. Number one, a man that is righteous. Barrun, somebody who does good deeds, is barrun, righteous person. Taqiyun, somebody who is God-fearing. Karimun ala Allah, and the person who is generous for the sake of Allah, or someone who is honorable in the sight of Allah. Then the second group of people is warajulun, a man that is fajirun, stubborn, or somebody who is a sinner, shakiyun, an unfortunate person, then hayyinun ala Allah ta'ala, and the person that is not honorable, that is humiliated in the sight of Allah, a person who has no value in the sight of Allah. And Prophet said, Inna Allah azza wa jalla yaqul, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas, O you mankind, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. We have created you into men and female, male and female, wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila. We have made you into nations and tribes, lita'arafu, so that you may recognize one another. Inna akramakum inda Allah atqakum. The noblest amongst you in the sight of Allah is one that is most God-fearing. Allahu Akbar. Inna Allah alimul khabir. Allah is all-knowing, He is all-aware. Now, these two type of people, good people and bad people, kind people and wicked people, generous people and mean people, responsible people and irresponsible people, one way or the other, these people manage to get married. Sometimes it is a woman that is battered, that is husbands behaving violently and abusively towards the wife. Sometimes it is the other way around. It is the man that is battered, where wives behave violently and abusively towards their husbands. There's no, we have not seen before. It's just that you see, the ones that are reported more are the cases of women being maltreated by their husbands. The woman will say, my husband beat me up, but a man will not say, my wife beat me up. But have you seen a man beaten up by the wife before, and he came to report it? Has anybody seen? Anybody came to tell you that his wife beat him up? I have seen plenty. I will say, but what happened? I said, it's my wife. It's my wife. What happened? You people had a quarrel. It was not even a quarrel. She beat me. She so she beat me. There's one man like that. Look at his cheek like this. Allahu Akbar. Maybe it is slap or anything. Only Allah knows. The wife beat him, and he said that was not the first time. As when you say, "Hey, I don't want to go and say that. If not, say na shamari." He was saying that just one lenge gentleman like that. I was looking at, says, Subhanallah, inna lillah. Subhanallah. Things are happening. So he said the wife beat him, and that was not the only one. I've seen some other ones who will say, it's my wife, it's my wife, it's my wife. May Allah save us. But you see, many men don't come to report. They don't tell anybody because they think of shame. So everybody now assume that it is only men that maltreat their wives. Although generally, in many instances, it is the men who are more powerful or who do many of that. But the women have their own thing too. Now let's look at this abusive, cruel behavior. Cruel behavior. It's not every time that people come openly, they also go secretly. Let's look at the overt one, the one that is openly seen, when people are being cruel towards one another. Number one, threatening somebody that if you don't come back by 6 p.m., consider yourself divorced. Or if you come back anything by Maghrib, I'm going to deal with you. Something like that. I'm going to deal with you. You will regret your life. This one is an aspect of cruelty. Then coercing, forcing somebody to do something that the person doesn't want to do, or stopping that person from doing what the person will have wished to do. Don't go out. If you go out, consider yourself. Then some men will ensure that they will almost literally lock their wives in the house. He will send him a guard, he send the driver, all of them should be watching her. They must not allow her to go out. This is an aspect of ways that some men behave. Then beating. Yes, this is another one. They beat them. Sometimes they lie against the wives. If you say husband and wife, come and explain what happened, the man will lie to the extent that the woman cannot even say anything again. She will just be crying. Yeah, some men do that. They have this arsenal in their hands. Some men can lie to the extent that, and he will give proof. And if you are trying to say, but are you sure your wife could do that? He will say, in a Karyani. He will turn it to rough. How can you say, can I be lying against that? Then some men do that a lot. Then berating or demeaning, that is talking down to someone and say, you, who do you think you are? You, Imbani, if not for me that I took you from the gutter. You'll be doing, you'll be among these tukari by the roadside now, if not me, that brought you up, put you in good house. When you see somebody talking like that, the person is trying to demean the woman, make her to feel low, make her to feel less, and then chastising, insulting her, saying, your parents, what do they have? If not me that's taking care of your parents, they will have starved to death. Some men talk to their wives like that. Then sometimes humiliating her, exploiting her, ignoring her. That is the malice, silent treatment. Some men will not touch their wives for months. If she cooks, he will not eat. He will not sleep in the bedroom. Even if he sleeps there, he will not touch her. These are cruel behaviors. Cruel behaviors. That is wickedness that some people do. One man did it for the wife for 6 months. He didn't touch her. He has another wife, but he abandoned her. He didn't touch her for 6 months. The woman had grown very lean. She was getting depressed. She couldn't tell anybody what was happening. And when this man saw that this woman was in the house, she didn't go. He now went to be telling people all around that the wife has been committing zina. He said, come on here. How? He said, how can she swear that no man touched her for the past 6 months, that he didn't touch her? He was now telling people all around that the wife is committing zina. It is when people now gather to say, okay, what exactly, let's address why did you commit suicide? She said she didn't commit anything. The man, they asked him, do you have any proof to say, how could she stay 6 months? How could she stay 6 months without me touching her, and she's still in this house? She must be. What kind of a man is that? A'udhu billah. Subhanallah. May Allah save us. So some people, malice, they can keep malice for a long time. It's mental torture, mental cruelty. The woman will be crying, nobody will listen to her. Allahu Akbar. And then you see it gets to some extent devaluing the woman, unceremoniously discarding her. He will just travel without telling her. You ask the woman, where's your husband? She doesn't even know where her husband is. Some people believe that it's not good to tell a woman where you are going to. But at a point, it's a matter of being a responsible man, that if anything happens, your wife should have an idea that, okay, my husband has traveled to Kano. I think it's good to be responsible. Anything can happen at any time. But this man, just to punish her, he will not tell her where he is going, when he is going, when he will come back. The wife will be totally in the dark about it. It is cruelty, it's wickedness. It is against that hadith that we recited earlier on. As far as I'm concerned, it is haram for a man to torment his wife like that. Then we have verbal abuse, physical abuse, sometimes sexual abuse. All of these things are open cruelty that people do to one another. Then we have the covert or controlling abuse. The first one we say is overt, the one that everybody can see. Then we have the other one, controlling. This one is like a green snake under green grass. He will be tormenting the woman and nobody can understand. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There's this passive aggressive behavior he will be doing to the woman and the woman can't prove it. You just see that the woman is feeling sad and she's feeling worried, but she can't prove it. For example, deliberately, that is unpredictability. Yes, I mentioned that one earlier on. Unpredictability means the wife doesn't even know what she will say that will become trouble. You understand what I'm saying now? You know, a woman should be able to say, no, don't talk like this to my husband. If not, he will get angry. I don't come back by this time, my husband will be angry with me. If my husband comes home and the house is dirty, my husband will be angry. You know that is very open for a woman. If my children are playing and disturbing him, instead of me to control them, if I allow them to disturb his sleep, my husband will be angry. Some women can tell 1, 2, 3, 4 some of the things that their husbands don't like. That is a straightforward man, that you know what he likes and what he doesn't like. But a man that is cruel and wicked will not allow the wife to know precisely what it is that will make him to be angry. So he will do a lot of how do I put it down, create some uncertain circumstances, so much so that the woman cannot even guess. In fact, some men are so bad that their wives can't even crack jokes. If the woman cracks jokes, that's when it will become problem. If the woman talks, it will be a problem. That why should you be talking? If the woman keeps quiet, it will be a problem. Why should you keep quiet when I was asking you a question? You know, Ustadh, we say a woman should not be arguing with her husband. The man is asking his wife some question. Instead of her to be arguing, she keeps quiet. The man is now angry that I'm asking a question, you didn't reply. Okay, now let's fast forward to another occasion. The man is talking and the woman is trying to explain. You say, if not, they are disrespected. How can I be talking and you are talking back? So what is the woman going to do now? She become confused. This is wickedness. Some men don't know that they are actually wicked, because he doesn't even know what he wants. If the woman dresses very nice, you know, they do that sometimes just to make their husbands happy. Some of the women, they will spend like 4 hours where they go and plait their hair. You see her neck to one side like this. 4 hours they will be plaiting. 1 hour like this, 1 hour like this, 1 hour like this, 1 hour like this. Then to finish the back, she will do like this for another 30 minutes, so that it will look fine for the husband. When she comes back home, the husband will be beating her that she didn't cook on time because she went to plait useless hair. What do we want her to do now? Look at these men very well before you give your daughters to them. Though it can be very difficult to know, yes, it can be very hard to know how some people are, but it's a bad idea the way some of this. So unpredictability is one aspect of cruelty. If you want a woman to enjoy you, please feel like, even if you are a strict person, let her know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I don't like it, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I want you to do it. At least if the woman should pass her boundary, she will know. Some might, you will not even talk, she will start apologizing. She will, I am very sorry, your food is not ready yet. I'm very sorry, it will soon be ready. You see her, she will be running up and down, just to satisfy her husband. That's how it's supposed to be. Now you see, among this unpredictability, you see, he will punish the wife by withholding bedroom business from her. You see, we mentioned something similar to this, but it's an act of cruelty, that sometimes the woman will be begging the husband that please come and sleep with me. You know how shy some of these women are. A man will now terrorize her to the extent that she will now be begging that please, now, please, feel severely, like, please, anything I've done, please forgive me. Please come and touch me. Please come to my bedroom. Please come and sleep with me. God, it's a way of humiliating the woman. And some people do that a lot. I remember, Allah Akbar, I remember one like that. She will go and knock on the husband's door, the husband's bedroom. And she said there was a time like that, the man opened the door and said, what do you want? Bah! He just slammed the door on her face. Get out! The woman said she cried and cried and cried and cried all through that night, because she had never been humiliated like that before. Who does that to a woman? Who does that to a woman? Another one like that, she said there was something that she did wrong, and then she was begging the husband, holding his leg, because for about 2 months the man refused to touch her, knowing fully well that his wife cannot even survive without this activity for 1 week. No, she can't do it. The husband must do something with her for her to calm down and be relaxed. And you see some of these women, once that thing happened between them and their husband, in the morning after subi, she'll be very happy, she'll be jovial, she'll be very fresh. But when she needs it and she's starved of it, you see, she start feeling miserable. She start thinking, am I not good enough? Am I not good enough? Why am I like this? So at the point, this woman begged, this man begged and begged that she was even holding his leg, that please, anything I've done, please forgive me. You know what the man did? He used that same leg to kick her. Kick her. What kind of to even think, what kind of a man behaves like that? What? How do you classify that kind of behavior? Over what now? What has the woman done? Even if the woman is not fine, you have to make her to look fine. If her skin is rough, use sandpaper. If that will make her to be smooth. No, I'm just saying. Okay, you say you don't want to touch her because she look rough. Sandpaper her. Buy good cream for her so that she will be shining. Put a lot of turare water everywhere in the house. Teach her how to look fine. Is there any woman that doesn't look fine? Honestly, some may look finer than some, but there's a way some of these women like to package themselves. They like to beautify themselves. Do you know why they spend so many hours beautifying themselves? It's because of the husband. They will put henna, they will put all of this in here and there. Some of them, when they will even be doing like this in the house so that the husband can see their hand. Anything they say, they will be doing like this. They will be doing like this. So that Subhanallah. So that the husband can notice it. But the useless man, he doesn't see anything. What happened to your hand? What happened to your hand? Me aka. God. You know what? I don't know. It is not haram in Sharia to flog some men. I wish this is the time of Sayyidina Umar radhiyallahu anhu. We just lie the men up like this and be giving them strokes of cane for being useless men. You don't know how to enjoy good wife. Subhanakallahumma. So these are some of these behaviors that are tantamount to being unpredictable. It's a very bad one. Another one that is similar to that is what we refer to as disproportionate reaction. Disproportionate reaction. What do you mean by this? He will severely punish her for what he perceives to be an offense against him, no matter how minor it is. For a man that punishes a woman in a way that you will see the offense, you see the punishment, they don't match each other. Sometimes when the punishment is 100% more than the offense, a man will say, I decide to punish her like that. I punish her like that because I told her to prepare 2 masara for me. She prepared 2 shinkafa. Please, then a man will not, because of that one, he will not allow her to go out. Some men, the car key is the first thing they will collect from the wife. She will not go out. They will collect her phone, and then they will be measuring food for her. If they give her 10,000 naira, they will ask her to account 1,000 naira. How did she spend it? They just make life difficult for her. Why? Because one day he told her to prepare miyan kuka. She prepared kubewa instead. Wait, who told some men that women will be obedient 100%? Women can't be obedient 100%. There are some natures that Allah gave to them. Taurinkai, they will be stubborn sometimes. Some of them can be careless sometimes. It is their nature. That's the way Allah made them. If they were perfect, they will not marry us sometimes. If some of them are so brilliant, they will not marry us. Honestly, some of them will not marry us because they will be too smart to marry us. But some of them is because of the way they are. That's why you can easily lie to a woman and she will accept. Deceive her and she will fall for it. Because Allah made some of them to be like that. So when a man begins to now take advantage of that to punish her, is very wrong. It's cruelty, it's wickedness. Then sometimes the man would throw tantrums over any discord or disagreement. Who said a woman must agree with the husband every time? Some of them is because Allah and Rasul says they should agree, they should obey. That's why some of them obey. It's not every time that we make right decisions. But some of them, they don't want to question us. They will just keep quiet, they will obey like that. If it backfires, they will not even say, Banagi Amakaba. They will not say that. They will just keep quiet. That's how Allah wants it to be. Some of them are just good like that. But when a man doesn't recognize that, you know what I mean by somebody throwing tantrum? A man will be hitting the door, boom, 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 because he's angry talking to the wife. A man will be breaking things because he's angry with the wife. A man will be insulting a woman, throwing away her things because he's angry. What kind of a man does that? Is it not love they say should be in marriage? What kind of man? If a man says his wife is stupid, I think he is even more stupid for marrying such a stupid woman. If a man marries a woman that he has to be beating up, he has to be insulting her, it means he is just showing us how unreasonable he is to have married her. And most of these men we are talking about, they are very selective of the kind of wives they marry. They don't marry a woman that will give fire by fire for them. You know what I mean? Yes, they go and marry Fatima who doesn't talk. Anything they say, they'll say, yeah, Akuri. I'm sorry, yeah, Akuri. She'll be begging him. If they don't go and marry Aisha, they'll say, and so what? And so what? They will not marry the one that will say, do your worst. They will not marry the one that will say, you just touch me and see if you not sleep in cell this night. Yes. I think there should be more of such women. If we don't have it, we should be importing them. Some of these men are very wise. They won't marry that kind of woman. Imagine you tell a woman, don't touch your phone. The phone is there and she will not touch it. Some other women will say, don't touch which phone? The phone you bought for me or the one I bought by myself? To hell with you. And when she says that one, this man will just do gra. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. Guys, they are very wise. They don't marry those kind of women. They will marry a woman that they will be maltreating her, they will be beating her. Allah save us. Then there's this one we call ambient abuse or gaslighting. Let me tell you how this one works. This one is the one that is so silent. Nobody will even know that the man is being wicked towards the wife. He will put some fear into her, or he will put some intimidation towards her. He will create some instability in the house, and he will be the one that will be complaining. Let me give you an example. We all know of blending machine, blender. These ladies, I hope you know this blender. They know it better than us. Blender, cool. This one that they use in the kitchen. If they put tomato inside the blender and they switch it on, and you hear some noise zzz, like that, what is making that noise? Is it the tomato or the blender? It's the blender. Who is supposed to be making noise? Tomato. Is it the blender or the tomato? Which of them is supposed to be making noise? It's supposed to be the tomato that they are cutting that should be making noise, but the tomato will be quiet. It's the blender that will be making noise. Even the neighbor can hear. This is how some men behave. They become very wicked towards the woman. The woman will not talk, but they are the ones that will be reporting her to everybody. So people will now start hating this woman. This is wickedness. This is cruelty. It is haram. It's against what Rasulullah said. Wala tukabbi. Don't hate her. Don't look down on her. Don't demean her. Don't maltreat her. Every woman giving, the Prophet said during the last sermon, he said, these women are be given to you as amana. They are your assistant. Treat them well. The Prophet said that they are your amana. They are your assistant. They are unun lakum. They are helpers for you. Treat them well. Treat your helpers well. We can never have children without these women. We can't have children without these women. And no matter how strong a man is, he needs the wife. No matter what. So they will be doing this kind of thing. A man will be carrying girlfriends up and down, and he will intimidate the wife that she must not talk. Allah Akbar. Why? What kind of thing is this? Why? A man will be so bold, he will be talking to and chatting with his girlfriends inside the house. And the wife will know, and she must not talk. At night, When the husband and wife are supposed to be together, this man will still be busy chatting with girlfriends. And if a woman says anything, he will threaten that I will slap you, I will slap you, I will do this one to you, I will torment you, you will regret your life. He will be saying those kind of things. These men don't have any small fear of Almighty Allah. And they will never enjoy goodness in life because of the way they treat somebody else's child, somebody else's amana. Then generally now, Allahu Akbar, I'm trying to jump a lot of details. One of the ways of cruelty that men do also, sorry, I'm speaking more about men today, is the women that are reigning today. What part of the thing they do is they ensure that they cut the woman off from outside people. They will make sure she is not able to communicate with anyone about what is happening. They will threaten that if you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you. Or if you tell anybody, if you ask for divorce, I will give you divorce and you will never see your children again. A man once said to the woman that if you like, die, I will never divorce you. You will not know peace in this house and I will not divorce you. And they did, they took the matter to court. The man went to bribe the judges. They told the woman to go back home and apologize to the husband. Both the judges and the husband, you know where they are going to be in the day of judgment. Allahu Akbar. Then there are some other ones, abuse of information, abuse by humiliation. For example, for a man to be beating the wife in presence of the children. People do that a lot. Being beaten or abused or punished in the presence of the children or in the presence of her subordinate. A man that is threatening his wife in presence of their house girl. In some instances, the man will be beating the wife in presence of the children. We have seen that a lot. One man did it to the extent that one of their sons, who is in secondary school, that boy had to come and hold the father's hand and say, look, if you beat my mother again, he was saying, you must be a bastard talking to me like that. You are a bastard. I will curse you. I will this one. The boy kept saying, don't touch my mother again. Don't touch my mother again. And I've heard, they told me very well, of one that slapped his father. The boy came from NYC. He came home. Mama, where are you? He was looking for the mother. He now saw the mother in the kitchen. The mother sat on the floor crying. He now said, what happened to you? Of course, he knew that the father normally beat her. Is it my father that did this to you? The woman didn't say anything, she just kept crying. He went to meet the father and beat him. Yes. He beat him. Somebody now asked me, what's Sharia going to say about that one? I said, well, Sharia is silent too. I didn't hear anything from Sharia. So Sharia be gam I don't know. But Sharia say, but to one not wallahi basani ba. I said, go and ask the chief imam, ni basani ba. They didn't teach us in Islamia that this is what will happen to this boy who beat his father. I said, Sharia didn't tell me anything. But Sharia be gam ba. Nima, I'm not a very good person, Dama. May Allah forgive me. But honestly, what if you were asked, what will you say? How am I going to judge this kind of thing? Al Jannatu tahta aqdabil ummahat. Paradise lies at the feet of mothers. So the boy was trying to defend his mother, and he told me that from that day on, the father never touched the mother again. Never touched the mother again. That they were not on talking terms, he and his father. That they were not talking for many years. But he never touched the mother again. Well, maybe that solved the problem or not. Let's get to hereafter first, before Allah will do Malik Yawmiddin in that regard. Although I later told him to be asking Allah's forgiveness. But you know why I said I'm not a very good person, Dama, is that I was feeling happy somewhere inside my mind. You know, only Allah sees our intention. Subhanallah. Somewhere in the corner of my mind, I was feeling happy that it serves him right. It serves him right. There's this thing they call daf'u. Let me quickly wrap it up with that. I will tell you what should be done about this kind of a thing. May Allah save us and have mercy on us. So we have matters of bullying. We have matter of telling other people about what the wife has not done lying against her. So what are the ways to stop some of these things? If Allah permits us another time, we'll talk about how women bully their husbands. But today is the other way around we are talking about. Sometimes one of the ways of stopping it is telling other people. A woman once told me that the husband said if she should tell me that he was going to deal with her. So the woman told me that, and I called the husband and said, your wife reported to me and said you said if she should tell Ustadh, that's me, that you are going to deal with her. I'm happy to inform you now that she has already told me. So let's see how you are going to deal with her next. He said, Ustadh, it's not like that. Actually, you know, these women, how they behave, this and that and that. The thing is, nobody should be abused and the person will keep quiet. You must tell, you must report to somebody. The Quran says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَابْعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا. It's Quranic commandment that when there is shiqaq means problems, troubles, whether openly or secretly. And in another place, the Quran refers to it as nushuz. That is this kind of maltreatment. This woman, they should bring people from his family, people from her family, judge people who can maintain justice. They should sit down and talk about this matter. No woman has the right to allow herself to be pushed to point of depression before reporting the case to somebody else. We do counseling and we know a lot of women now that are depressed because of the way their husbands are treating them. A woman who is married to a very wealthy person said sometimes if she sees 500 naira like this, it will be as if she has seen a very big money. Everybody sees her outside as Batanwani, your husband is a very powerful person. But she said even 500 naira she doesn't see. For some reasons, the man just decided to use that to calm her down, to push her down. I thought our pride is in when people see that our wives are happy, isn't it? A man is proud to see that his wife is happy, his wife is doing well, his wife is doing okay, but not to be happy that she is looking miserable. So some of them come around in depression. I've been opportune to counsel a woman who went into drugs because of depression from the husband. Who went into drugs. She had burnt her hand, all this place like this. When she was trying to use cocaine, this one they use lighter. She said she didn't even know when she was burning herself without realizing that she was burning herself. She has gone very far into drugs. And when we trace it very well, it's this same man that gave her all of this problem. This woman on 2 or 3 occasions has caught the husband sleeping with their house girl. And he threatened that if she should tell anybody, he will kill her. Many house girls have come and gone. One of them had to go and abort pregnancy. And this woman, she was cowed down that she must not tell anybody. So she started emaciating. In order for her to just make herself happy, some of her friends introduced her to codeine. And from there she graduated to cocaine and the rest of them. Now her life is in ruin because it's very hard for them to come back from this drug thing. What kind of a man is this? Subhanallah. Number 2, fighting back. Well, I will not recommend that the woman should fight her husband because there may be some problem that may come from there. But one of the ways she fight back is still to report him. Number 3, tactical management. Try to manage this thing because many of these men always set trap for their wives. Part of the tactical management is anybody that sees that there's so much oppression in that way, she or he, I'm saying even if it's the man that's been abused, should get a tape recorder or at least use your phone and record the insult that is happening. So that will be your proof and your witness when people who are supposed to settle the matter come in. Because I've seen a case of a man like that, very nice, very jovial. You will never believe the kind of things he says and does to the wife. Or one of such occasions, this man was insisting that he must sleep with her from her anal, from the wrong side of her. He was insisting, he was swearing, he was cursing her, even quoting hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, whenever a man calls the wife to bed and the woman refuses, angels will curse her. Wait, who is angel going to curse more? The woman that refused or the man that want to sleep with her in the wrong way? So nobody believed it until when the woman recorded it and went to play it to the man's uncle. That, see, this is what is causing our fight. I said he should sleep with me in the normal way, but he decided to go through where I pass faces. It is then that people now began to call the man and say, Abba, you man, what is your problem? What do you want? What do you want? If she didn't do that, nobody will ever believe, and nobody will ever know that such a thing is happening. Number 4, there may be legal aids. There are Sharia courts. Let nobody, man or woman, be afraid of taking matters of abuse to Sharia court. Legally, let some things be heard, especially a woman that is threatened about death. Yes, the man threatened that I'm going to kill you, and he keeps saying that. Before he kills her, many deaths now that are not recorded. You think the woman died of accident or something happened? No, some women do not just die. It's some of their husbands who kill them. We see some of those on TV now. He will hold her neck like this and choke her to death. There is the first one that will call the chief imam and says, Assalamu alaikum, Umu Aisha. He's the one that killed her, but nobody will know. But when people are being threatened like this, they should try and report it so that legal aids can be given to them by the appropriate quarters. So generally now, some people provoke cruelty. What is a man supposed to do when the woman is 6 months pregnant and the woman now holds his dress like this and say, if you don't beat me today, you are a bastard? What is that man supposed to do? He should. You beg her to release you. If you don't beat me today, you are a bastard. Say, I know I'm a bastard, Dama. Just allow her to carry her wahala away. In other words, some of them, they have razor sharp tongue. Some of these women, they can say something to you. You want to drink battery acid just to kill yourself and end it up. Many accidents are not accidents, so men just drive themselves to end it all because of the things some of these women say. If you handle a woman because of what she says, you will kill her for real. Let's be real this time around. You want to kill her. You want to use force, and some of them they will not hear until when you get angry. They will not hear until when you go violent. Some of them are designed like that. They thought that means you are a very lucky person. Allah Dama say inna Allah ma'a sabirin. If you can be patient, then Allah is with you. I'm just saying this is not that it is easy. You know, that's why I say everybody knows what they are going through, what they are experiencing. Some of these women, honestly, some of them are very, very bad. Some of them are bad. Some of them are wicked. Some of them are very selfish. If you like, die. If they have way of assisting you, they will never assist. Some of them are very cruel also. Some of them are very diabolical. Some of them are very stubborn. Some of them, Shaitan. If Shaitan is busy like this, Shaitan will delegate them to go and represent him. And if you happen to marry such a woman, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. What are you going to do? If you, because of what they do, without you to behave towards them, you see the case of the blender and the tomato now. It is the blender that will be making noise, but it's the tomato that is being cut. Wrong person will be complaining about another. This woman will be complaining about the husband up and down, but you only need to hear the kind of thing she says to him. Even when people come, she will, Allah Akbar, oh, Ya Salam. She will pretend, she will cry, she will look as if she wants to die when people are around. When people blame the husband, after they go, he will not then she will do something that will make the man want to just hit the roof or do something to himself. This we know. Is there anything any woman would do that you are going to be surprised? Is there anything a woman would do that a man is going to be surprised? That's why we normally say, if you marry and you have a very good wife, then you'll be a happy person. And if you marry a bad wife, you'll be a philosopher. Whichever one, you have not lost anything. You'll be a philosopher. You will just have some kind of attitude that people will not even understand you anymore. I told you the other time of one philosopher like that, who the wife was abusing him and cursing him. He kept quiet, he didn't say anything. And the neighbors could hear what the woman was saying to him. So when the woman saw that he didn't respond, she kept abusing him and cursing him. The man didn't say anything, so she went to carry a bucket of water and pour it on his head where he sat. You know what the man said? He said, "Oh, Alhamdulillah. Now I know that after thunder and lightning, there will be rainfall." I've added more to my knowledge. You see, every person should know, the Quran says, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. We must live with them with goodness and with kindness. Cruelty and wickedness is not allowed. Allahu Akbar. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. The Quran also says, the same way you are supposed to be kind to them, they are also supposed to be kind to you. And the Prophet ﷺ said, خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي. The best of you is the best to his family, and I am the best to my own family. Marriage is supposed to be with love and mercy. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Let everybody look for ways of doing these love things that they talk about. Life is too short for a person to go violent. Life is too short for a man to be shouting and hitting. You'll be quarreling with the wife. They will think somebody is trying to catch a cow. The way we do, the whole house will be turned upside down because of women. Let men try to discipline themselves. If you follow what these women do to you, you may go to hellfire because of them. When you torment some of them and punish some of them and they can't get back to you, they will go diabolical. They know the bokaye they can go to, and they will turn you to something else. So head, they win. Tail, you lose. If a woman cannot catch the husband or discipline the husband physically, so many of them, shaitan will enter into their heads, and they'll just use something. Unless you don't eat her food and you don't sleep with her. If you eat her food and sleep with her, she will get you and nothing will happen. And tomorrow people will see you like they say, you will say, love, I can die for love. I can do anything for love. When you see a man start talking like that, may Allah save us. So let's stop here because of time. May Allah forgive us where we are wrong. All of this we are just talking about general life things. It is not always the case, but you have been able to see that everybody should check themselves and begin to enjoy happy life. May Allah forgive me, and may Allah forgive you too. May Allah forgive us and continue to guide us aright.